Happy belated Valentine's Day to you all, and welcome back to the channel. Unless this is your first time here, then hi. There's been a lot of great movies coming out lately, especially for the Valentine's Day holiday, and let's talk about some of them. I loved all of them, and I'm very excited to talk about them. So let's just kick it off. Let's kick it off with Companion. Directed and written by Drew Hancock, who has made this movie and another classic masterpiece, Fred 3, Camp Fred. Companion is a movie of a faded romance with a lot of mystery and bloody consequences. And that is all I'll be talking about the movie, because the marketing spoils a lot. I understand it, it's a lot of the movie, and it's kind of hard to make trailers and posters and stuff around it and just kind of hope people come to the movies on the basis of it's a scary good time, have a good time watching it. But I do wish I didn't know some of the stuff going into it. That said, even though I knew what was kind of happening as the movie was continuing, I loved it. It was a great time. It's a great story. There's a lot of really fun scenes and elements, and the plot is really well crafted. Every performance is perfect. Sophie Thatcher, Jack Quaid, their relationship on screen is really strong and really entertaining to watch. And what a ride. And what a great movie to kick off the Valentine's Day season. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend it. And that's why I'm purposely playing trailers that don't spoil the stuff. It's just really entertaining. You should go watch it. Okay, let's kick it from one horror movie to another. Heart Eyes. A Valentine's Day themed serial killer hunts down doomed lovers all throughout the holiday. And in this film, he sets his sights on a new happy couple. I had a great time with this movie, and I had an even greater time when I found out that Josh Rubin directed it. What the hey? That guy's so cool. What's he doing over here on Hard Eyes? I've talked about it on my channel before, but I am a huge fan of Precious Plum. I have a video about it too. You should go check it out. Yeah, it's as classic of a thriller as it sounds. It's Halloween, but for Valentine's Day. It stars Olivia Holt and Mason Gooding. Incredible pairing. They're such great stars, especially Olivia Holt, who I haven't seen in so long, and I'm glad she's doing big stuff in Hollywood, especially this movie, because it's great. The story is a lot of fun. The gore is really, really good. The romance in this movie is probably the strongest part. It's the backbone of the entire movie. It is the one thing that throughout the entire film I was like 100%. I love it. I want to see these two end up together. They're so lovely. It's beautiful. This movie is a slasher through and through. I got what I wanted, and I loved what I had. My only qualm with the movie is that I wasn't a super big fan of the ending, but a lot of my friends were, so I'm happy for them. But I'm such a big fan of other movies in the genre that can kind of feel very starkly similar to the Love Hurts ending. That said, I still enjoyed it. Like, I was still having a good time. I was just like, that feels like this movie. But it's okay, because I loved Love Hurts. That's a different movie that we can talk about right now. When a former hitman is brought out of retirement, he is forced to face his action-packed past. Yes. Yeah, that's it. It's another John Wick copy. But that's okay, because I mean, these movies are doing really well, and they're still very entertaining to watch. I think my favorite, I hate to say derivative because it makes it sound bad. It's not bad. But my favorite, like, John Wick style story of recent is Nobody. That one was a lot of fun. And this one is kind of like that. On its own, I think I wasn't as into this movie as I wish I was. I think there wasn't enough action in it to get me very excited, because a lot of it was in the trailer. But also, this movie is only like an hour and 22 minutes or 28 minutes or something like that. That's wild. The romance felt kind of stilted. The story would do a lot of like narration that kind of distracted from what I was watching, and it felt like they were just telling me stories of stuff that I was like, okay, I get that, let's just keep watching. I don't know, it felt kind of cloudy at times. I did have a fun time though, and that is because Ke Huy Quan is an incredibly charismatic actor. He is so entertaining to watch. I am surprised that this is his first leading role, if I'm not mistaken. Give this man all of the roles. He is so incredible. He's so entertaining to watch, even when the movie was kind of doing some weird story stuff. I was still really into it because I loved him so much. I wish I was more into Love Hurts than I am. That said, if you want to watch it, you should, because Ke Huy Quan is perfect. So is the rest of the cast, but Ke Huy Quan's on the poster. I mean, how can I not talk about this lovely man? All right, and then the movie that we've all been waiting for, maybe, if you're a Captain America fan, because it's Captain America Brave New World.
You want me? Come and get me!
Captain America New World Order would have been so much cooler. I'm just saying. Just saying. The new Captain America, Sam Wilson, picks up the shield in the brand new Captain America adventure, where he goes up against the likes of new political rivals and supervillains from the past. Okay, let's just get this out of the way. This movie felt very MCU. There was a lot of hit or miss CGI. The story feels very formulaic for an MCU movie. And especially nowadays, they tried to pull some big cameos. I would argue that there's 2 cameos in the movie. One of them was really cool. The other one, I'm like, okay. But let's just get some of these things out of the way. Let's just, these are a lot of scatterbrained thoughts. I just saw it today, and I also just went on a pub crawl last night, and I'm kind of hungover. I first want to say that this movie, too, I was surprised, because Marvel's usually pretty good about this. They showed way too much in the marketing. The whole movie is building up to the fact that General Thunderbolt Ross, played by Harrison Ford, is the Red Hulk, which is really cool. And I think a lot of fans probably would have guessed it if you were just saying, yeah, like, Thunderbolt Ross is going to be in the movie. But the entire movie, I'm now waiting for the moment that he becomes the Red Hulk. And that only happens at the very end. Sorry, spoiler alert. But I mean, it's in the trailer. You know what's going to happen. The marketing's really good for the movie. I don't want to say that it was like terrible marketing. I just want to say that it felt like the movie had already shown us everything that they had to offer in the trailers. But that said, I really like the Red Hulk. As much as I'm unsure about recasting Ross's character after William Hurt's passing, I think that A, Harrison Ford is a great pick, and B, I think that Harrison Ford did an incredible job in this movie. It's Harrison Ford. I think people forget how incredible of a performer he is because he's Harrison Ford, you know? And the Red Hulk looks great in this movie, too. I honestly wish we got more of him throughout the film. Like I said, a lot was spoiled in the trailer. I was expecting more of him, but it's okay. I think the fight scene that we got with him was really entertaining. So getting into the story and stuff, it felt very, not all over the place. It felt like point A, point B, point C. It felt like we were kind of going through the motions at points, just because, again, like, we kind of knew where things were going. We knew it was heading towards, like, Hulk-related storytelling. We knew who the villain was because it was in the trailer and all this stuff. And I honestly wish that they utilized more Hulk stuff, because I understand there's, like, rights issues about giving Hulk his own solo film, which is so ridiculous. Please just give him a Hulk movie already. Just make a deal. Like, I love the leader. I'm so happy that they brought Tim Blake Nelson back as Samuel Stearns / the leader, but he's barely in the movie, which kind of connects me to the next point. I'm very curious what the previous versions of this film are. It's been reported that this movie wasn't reshot or re-edited or restory, whatever, like apparently not much has changed. But personally, I couldn't really see that being true watching the movie, because the leader is off doing his own thing unrelated to the main plot for a majority of it. A lot of times it feels like Tim Blake Nelson is shooting the movie in like a soundstage across the world. Like, it doesn't feel like anyone's in the same room a lot of the times in this movie. The Serpent Society seemed like they were going to have a much bigger role, which I'm not like whining about the Serpent Society not being in it as much. I'm just curious what that originally looked like, because I know that Seth Rollins, sorry, WWE reference, is in the movie, but he's not. He was cut out. But he, like, I saw set photos where he looked much more serpent themed, and in this movie the Serpent Society are just like a bunch of guys with knives and guns and whatever. Giancarlo Esposito's fantastic. That's another thing. It just felt like a lot of great ideas kind of stitched together to make like an MCU movie, and it works. But as a fan, I was kind of hoping for more. I was hoping for more exciting. I was hoping for a movie that defined Sam Wilson as Captain America individually outside of Steve Rogers' shadow. Because a lot of times in the movie when they're talking to him, they're like, Sam, you're the greatest Captain America and all this stuff. And I like that stuff, but it just, I was hoping for something that felt more uniquely to Sam, other than the continuous references that, oh, I don't have the super soldier serum and all that stuff. But the one constant thing throughout the movie that I really enjoyed is Isaiah Bradley. I think the exploration of how the U.S. government used and abused this man, even though he was a Captain America, is so fascinating. I almost wish they delved into more of that. But yeah, I had a good time. My expectations were not super high just because I'd heard so much about the movie going wrong and whatever, like reshoots and new characters added and all this stuff. And my expectations were met. I liked it. I wish I loved it, but I liked it. I think as a fan, I'm very conflicted with how the MCU is as a whole in general. I feel very excited when these superhero brands are able to tell more individual / unique stories to the MCU formula, such as your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Thunderbolts seems very unique. The Fantastic Four seems like an interesting MCU film. I don't know. Agatha All Along was a really big one too. Love that one. You should check out the video I have on that one because I've got thoughts and I love that series. And I want those unique, specific, individual stories, but I also feel that the MCU has just trained its audience to expect a grander tale, like some massive story, and I feel somewhat directionless right now. I don't really know where things are headed to. Personally, I enjoyed that this movie was taking steps to being like a political thriller, but I almost wish that they either went all the way in terms of the political thriller stuff, or they went all the way in terms of the comic booky stuff, because it feels like a weird meld of the both, and it feels like we don't get enough time to enjoy either side. I almost wish that they went all the way with it and just made a movie between Captain America and Thunderbolt Ross trying to levy the future of the Avengers or future of superheroes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Again, I liked the movie. I wish I loved it. In terms of Captain America movies, I think I'm always going to prefer the Steve Rogers ones, but A, I grew up with those movies, and B, they were like in the peak of the MCU, so it's kind of hard to compete with those in general. So it's not like I didn't like this movie, it's just that those movies have such a high standard in my heart. But yeah, I hope that there's more Captain America journeys and adventures in the future, and I hope we do get more Hulk stuff, whether it is in Captain America movies or in Avengers movies or finally in his own movie. I had a good time with Brave New World / should have been called New World Order, because New World Order is a harder title. Oh yeah, I meant to mention this too. I don't like to get political on this channel, so all I'm gonna say at the moment is I think this movie came at a very awkward time with a certain character that's in the movie and what this movie stands for and how the current name of the main character stands in the public eye today. There's just so much, it was hard to disassociate that from this movie, because honestly while watching it I was just like, oh, I don't know if they wanted this. Anyways, so those are all the Valentine's Day movies I caught up on. I do have another video coming Friday about a show that I watched in February and January that I really liked. And that'll be out on Friday, so look forward to that. Thank you guys for watching. Give your homies a kiss goodnight, because they might be lonely after the Valentine's Day weekend. I know I am. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.